This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
If your friends are nerdy and you are nerdy too, I wanna talk to you. Friends talking nerdy.
This is the podcast making, public transit taking, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun, Tim the Nerd, welcoming you to another episode of Friends Talking Nerdy, part of the Deluxe Edition Network. Head to deluxeeditionnetwork.com to find out about all of the lovely shows on the Den. And seated next to me, we have the blonde bombshell. We have the most electrifying professor in all of podcasting today, Professor Aubrey.
Yo, it's always too much. It's always too much. It makes me feel like I'm not going to live up to these high standards.
I mean, look at my nickname, though. I mean, it's, you know, would you exactly call me kiss stealing and wheeling dealing?
Well, no.
Exactly. See?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
We all, at one point in our lives, should have some sort of grandiose catchphrase. That should be everybody's goal in life.
Really?
Or one of their goals. One of many. How about that? Mm-hmm. All right. So how's your week been?
You know, my week has been really good. I've had a great week. I did some fun stuff. I sang karaoke recently.
Nice.
That was fun. I've been working a lot.
Yep, and one thing that you have done that I briefly mentioned at the start of your introduction is the fact that you are now a blonde bombshell.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I started getting my hair colored, last August or something? Because I think I did it right before Burning Man.
Yeah, that's when you went the greenish color?
Yeah, it was like a teal.
Yeah.
And then came back from that, and there was another event in October. So I did it in August, and I did it in October. And then I was going to do it again, and I had an appointment to go do it again. But I just can't afford it, basically. It's expensive. So I thought, well, now I've seen it happen to my hair, and I know sort of what to look for. And I know that it's not going to cause my hair to fall out to put bleach on it. And so, yeah, I went to Sally Beauty and I got all of the ingredients. It's very interesting. Things come in, like for hair bleach, it's a mixture of bleach and hydrogen peroxide. And every formulation of it is different, right? They have different additives that they put in there, right? The keratin and protein and whatever.
Pantene Pro V? No.
Yeah, exactly. The Pro V stuff. They put that in there. But it's like you have to mix the powder and the liquid together, and then it does this chemical reaction, and you put that on your head, and it strips the color out of your hair. It opens the pores of your hair, goes inside, and gets the pigment.
Isn't it interesting how much brave you can be the less money you have? You mentioned because...
Right.
Yeah.
But I think had I never had it professionally done, I would never have done it myself.
Yeah. But yeah, of course. I mean, to your point, yeah, I was a little facetious there with a joke. But to your point, it is something that, yeah, you do it wrong, you could have major things happen. I mean, there are plenty of people, men and women alike, who do have horror stories of coloring their hair, incidents that went wrong.
Oh yeah, like what?
In terms of like it coming out like at best it come out like a different color or something like that, or at worst, like affecting hair, temporary hair loss or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those are best avoided.
Of course.
Yeah. So my hair gets very light. It's very light blonde. And I thought, well, when I bleached it, okay, so I bleached it, left the bleach on for like 40 minutes or something, rinsed it out, shampooed my hair. It was very brassy, meaning kind of orangey, where I had bleached it. Whereas the ends, where the professional had bleached it, were very, like, perfectly white. And so I knew I had to do something to make the color better. So I read up on Reddit and etc. and found out what to do, which is to use a toner, which is a different kind of hair coloring, but it also involves peroxide and bleach. But it's also depositing color that's the opposite of the color that you want to get rid of. So if you have orangey in your hair, then you want the opposite of the color wheel, and that is blue. Whereas yellow is directly across from purple. I think that's how it works. Anyway, so you get this toner that says blue or purple, and you put it on your hair, and it somehow turns it white. Dunno. So I did that, and I was pretty pleased with the results. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. And now that I've toned it so that it's like whitish, I'm going to put some blue on it and see how that goes.
Yeah, and I mean, you are really selling yourself short when you say pretty good. I mean, it looks kick-ass. I can say that. Yeah.
Nice.
You did one hell of a job.
Thank you. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, with me, it's been about a year now myself since I've had a bald head. But, you know, when I did have hair on my head, I'd only colored it once myself.
What did you color it, Tim?
My ex-wife was using hair coloring and she wanted to dye her hair blonde, so she had some left over, so it wasn't like a complete thing, but like it basically gave me some blonde highlights throughout my hair.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And so how'd your wife look with bleached hair? Did it work out?
She never did it again, let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't know if you're going to like something until you try it, you know? I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time I've gone platinum. I did it a long time ago, like 10 years ago or 15 years ago now. And it looked great, so I knew it was possible. Now,
do you plan on wearing kind of a pillowy type of dress over some grates that might shoot up puffs of air so you can keep your skirt down?
Maybe.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I haven't run into one of those. There used to be one of those next to my dorm. There's just giant square grate that had some kind of giant fans in it that were blowing hot air, which was nice in the winter. Many times I just went over there and sat on it to keep warm.
Yeah, like guys walk by. Why are all of the women in this college right there?
No, I was usually there by myself.
Okay.
I was like the weirdo version. You know, in Breakfast Club, there's like every archetype of high school kid or, you know, young adult. And I'm very much the Ali Sheedy character.
Always had a crush on the Ali Sheedy character myself. So
really,
yeah, like Molly Ringwald, beautiful woman. But if we were of comparable age during high school period and we went to the same high school, she never ever would have looked my way.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Me either. Right, no, I'm agreeing with you for myself.
Yeah.
That'd be like, you know, the captain of the football team.
Yeah, but that's another thing too about that character, not Molly Ringwald as a human being, of course. But that is another thing about that character, is that the Ali Sheedy character is a lot more intriguing, a lot more interesting. Molly Ringwald is a good character, but, you know, you kind of know what the trajectory that type of character is going to take, I guess. Right,
like her big arc is that she hates the dude and then loves the dude.
Yeah, how it usually goes in films and all that stuff. But anyway, me in that movie, I mean, I would love to think I was the Judd Nelson character, but no, let's be honest, I was the Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, just a lot more buff Just kidding. Yeah, believe it or not, 6'5", 190 pounds in high school.
Wow.
Really, really skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, potatoes made me mad.
Yeah, just eating lots of potatoes. That's all it takes.
Once I got it really will, yeah, because all the starches and stuff like that, if you eat a lot of them over a long period of time, and I know from experience, you will gain a little weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially too, we're not talking about just one baked potato with nothing on it. We're talking butter, and not even butter per se, margarine, which is worse than butter. Then you have to have cheese on it, of course. Then you have to have a vegetable on it, and you have to have all kinds of stuff on it too. It's like me with salads. You know, it's like the healthy part is in there somewhere, but I got all this other stuff on there too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with the potato thing, yeah. I mean, that whole potato famine thing was real. Like, they ate mostly just potatoes, and you can definitely live off just potatoes. And I would never put margarine on anything, ever. And I mean, I guess that's what you're saying about poverty makes you experimental. Yeah,
I mean, like the first time I brought margarine into the house here, you gave me the same look that you gave me when I tossed a little bit of garbage out the car window.
Yeah. Oh my God, Tim, I can't believe that you're admitting that on national podcast TV.
Well, I've talked about before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, because remember,
you want to bring it up again?
My sister had a retort, remember?
Oh, what was it?
Oh, the whole yelling at me for, you were never taught to do that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, so, yeah.
Yeah, how did you come up with that on your own?
What?
The throw trash out the window.
I didn't think about it. It was just like a little thing of trash, and it was just like someone else would pick it up, I guess.
I mean, is this something that you regularly do?
Well, no, I don't have a car, so I don't.
No, but if you were riding in other people's cars, or when you did have a car.
No, would I do it now? No. In the past, if I were a passenger, probably not. If I were the driver, depending on what we're talking about, I'm not going to deny, like, maybe tossing a burger wrapper out. You know, I'm not.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that? Like, what is the point of that?
Again, didn't think about the consequences all the way through.
You were just like, I don't want this in my car.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to keep it in my car for the 5 minutes it's going to take me to get to a gas station and throw it away. 10
minutes, actually. But, yeah.
That's intense, man.
Yeah, but it's not a habit I do anymore. I mean, like, you all should have seen that look on her face, folks. Like, it was...
I just couldn't conceive that had actually happened right in front of me.
Like, it was driving on the highway, and I was, at that point, worried she was going to be like, get out, but not stop the car.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, anyway.
So the potatoes, I like a potato, I like a spud, but not nearly to the extent that you do.
Yeah.
I like a fry, but like once a month I like a fry.
Yeah. That's the thing with me and potatoes too. These days, my potato consumption is far, far, far less than it has been in the past. But I've also found too that when it comes to that, it's because I've had it so much in the past, I wear out on it faster if I do get the itch again.
Right. Sure.
And like. Big potatoes are not bad and everything. You know, when you have it with a good steak, it can kick ass. And then again, like I said, every now and then I'll just have an urge of making my own baked potato concoctions, which usually involve a couple potatoes, but that just wears out quite fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta mix it up.
You do gotta mix it up just a little bit. Same things over and over and over again. Probably not so good.
Yeah. Speaking
of that, streaming services.
Oh, yeah.
They can be a pain in the ass. As we record this, Warner Brothers Discovery, who owns the Max app, have announced that within the next few months, they are going to crack down on password sharing.
Yep.
And it's a discussion that we've talked about on the show here before, but it's one, I guess, that kind of bears repeating. Like, on the one hand, I understand the idea that the people that pay for the service should be the ones that, use it. But on the flip side, it is not taking into account just how people use their devices these days.
Yeah, so my confusion is that it seems like what it's going to do is reach into your home, find your IP address, and then only let you access it from that IP address?
That is the intention.
So what if I go to Airbnb? What if I am on a plane? What if why can't I use my service wherever I am?
That's my contention here. Also, why can't you, if you are paying for this and have someone else in your... think how many parents have given their kids the password to the streaming apps that they subscribe to while their kids are in college or, in their own homes. That is, if the person is paying for a family plan, they should have that ability to let someone in on their family, whether it be a blood relative or not. But obviously, I'm not talking about post.
And I'm totally down. I think Amazon has like a limit of 5.
That's generally the amount that you're going to find with the other streaming services, yeah.
And that seems fair. Like 5 users for one price. What is that? 500% increase?
Something, yeah. It just
because it goes from 20 to 100. So that's a...
it's
40... No, Jesus. I can't do math. Like, I really cannot do math.
I never could do math. But, maybe there are people out there that do just freely give their username and password for the streaming services to just anybody. And, I think of the time that we visited Astoria and had a hotel for the night, and somebody else had forgotten the fact that they had signed in on their Netflix on that hotel TV.
Yeah.
To your point, yeah, if someone purchases a streaming services and they're the ones actually using it, then, yeah, if you were taking a cross-country trip to, from New York to San Diego and you want to watch a movie on Max, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because that is what you're paying for. But it just really goes to show, once again, just how the pitch of what we were sold on what streaming would offer is turning out more and more not to be the case.
Yeah.
Which, hindsight being 2020, I think the answer was always there, that it was not going to be sustainable. But, the only thing you can do at this point is just be cognizant of sales. Like, generally, I like to, look out for particular sales around, October, November when it comes to Black Friday. That's usually when you're going to find some really good deals. Like this year, I would subscribe to Hulu this past Black Friday because they were offering, if you signed up for a year, each month of that year, so 12 payments of $1 for Hulu with commercials. I can deal with commercials.
$12 for the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it will flip back and forth based, on the particular service that you use. Like, I believe I did Paramount Plus one year, and it was half off for the yearly cost if you purchased it around Black Friday. Mm-hmm. Which, if we're talking like $50 and you're going to be getting a lot of viewing content, because I was able to, myself rewatch like the, Star Trek The Next Generation and stuff like that. I knew I was going to watch that stuff. Then it ends up paying for itself at the end of the day.
Well, it doesn't end up paying for itself.
Well, you know what I mean. It's a phrase.
Right. I mean, it's an affordable form of entertainment.
Yeah. But also, too, I do like the fact that these fast services, free ad-supported television, like Pluto TV and Tubi, are becoming more popular. I think I don't mind commercials so long as it's the right length. It's not like 40 minutes of commercials and 2 minutes of programming. And that's a little hyperbolic, folks. I get that, but you get my drift.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a recreation of cable, right? When you got your premium channels with no commercials, you got your regular broadcast channels with commercials, and then you've got cable channels with commercials as well.
Yeah, and that's something brought from Pluto TV. What I like about that too is that there is content that plays on Pluto TV that I wouldn't necessarily search out on streaming. We've talked about this before when you mentioned putting in your name in the hat to audition for Jeopardy. Having the Jeopardy channel on Pluto TV is awesome. Now, Tubi is a slightly different experience, even though they do offer a live TV portion, and similar to Amazon's Freevee service. Tubi is going to be more like a Netflix, but still, there are going to be commercials in the particular things that you have, but. The glory days of streaming are over. I think more and more people are just going to have to understand this, accept this, and also kind of, to your point, what you spoke about earlier, just try to put yourself in the shoes of the people that own the place and understand that, at the end of the day, they do have a right to be able to get their money for, the service that you pay for, but this whole password sharing thing, I think, there has to be a way to, one, limit people who do freely give out their username and password, but two, acknowledge the fact that you do have parents that have children that may live in a different state, going to college, or just live in a different state, and they want to share their, in this case, the Max password. If you don't allow that to happen, you're going to be losing on some customers.
Yeah, I mean, I think depending on how they enforce it, like, it really makes me mad that I can't watch it on a plane or I can't watch it at a hotel. Like, that's the whole point of the internet, is that you can do anything anywhere. Yeah.
And if you're going to limit people to only being able to access this streaming type of service only in one location, one physical location, you are going to have a lot less people watching.
Yep.
All right. So, how about before we move on to our main event, we take some time to let some of our friends at the Deluxe Edition Network tell our fans about their show?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Sit back, relax, and listen to this.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to Quad Pro Quo. Right now, you are probably thinking to yourself, oh great, another movie podcast. Well, dear listener, you would be right. But throw in a couple of marriages, decades-long friendships, and a shared property line, and you have just another movie podcast with a shitload of drama. Inspired by the iconic quid pro quo scene in Silence of the Lambs, each week one of us will pick a movie. It could be a childhood favorite, a classic film noir, an Academy Award winner, or a complete dumpster fire that brings joy to that person's heart. The selector's objective? To get us to love, or at the very least, not hate their pick. Will our marriages, our friendships, and our neighborhood survive? Find out each Thursday on Quad Pro Quo.
Hey Tim, before we get to our main event, would you like a cup of coffee?
Always. I live on that stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah. How do I get through the day otherwise? Caffeine, man.
Caffeine is the way. I agree. You've got to have caffeine in order to make it through the day. That is for sure. So I have this new coffee I would love for you to try because I absolutely adore it. And you know I have really good tasting coffee.
You most definitely do, folks.
Yeah, so I have this new coffee from Coffee Brothers Coffee Bros. And they are a small roaster in New York City that's run by two brothers, which is why they call themselves Coffee Bro.
Imagine that.
I know, right? And they have this really great website that sells coffee that they make there in New York City, or they roast there. Sorry, they don't make it there. Obviously, they grow it in places where coffee grows.
Yeah, I don't think the South Bronx is a good place for coffee.
No.
In terms of growing coffee.
No, I think you have to be much closer to the equator.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, here, give it a try. What do you think?
No. So good, folks. So good. This is something I recommend we all try.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's an award-winning coffee, and it's got really great blends, espresso roasts, and single origin coffees, which are all small batch roasted, you guys, in New York City. And we're in Portland, as you know, the home of amazing coffee. But for my coffee at home, I'm going to go for Coffee Bros.
And a reason I would go to Coffee Bros myself is because I love a good discount.
Oh my God. Yes, you do, Mr. Frugal.
Yes, if you go to their website, which you can go to our show description, and it will have a link there that will take you directly to their site, coffeebros.com. If you purchase some coffee from their website, and when it prompts you to put in the promo code, you put in FTN10, you're going to save 10% off of your order.
Wow, that's awesome.
It definitely is.
I hope everybody takes advantage of this wonderful opportunity to get 10% off this fabulous coffee.
I hope so too. Again, people, coffeebros.com. You can find a link in our show description, and at checkout, in the promo code area, put in FTN10. Let's drink some coffee, baby.
Okay.
It is a great time of year to be a wrestling fan, despite some of the bad news coming out in the media about some of the people that have run wrestling organizations in the past. This is Wrestlemania season, and when this episode comes out, it's going to be near the time when Wrestlemania 40 hits, or if not slightly after. But what we wanted to do for our main event here is kind of celebrate one aspect of WrestleMania that I think anybody, casual fan or otherwise, can enjoy, and that's some WrestleMania entrances.
Yeah. Those are always the most interesting things in the two WrestleManias I've seen.
Yeah, and just like also with we didn't record our comments about this, but we saw the women's Elimination Chamber match from Elimination Chamber Perth this year, and similar to the 2018 Women's Royal Rumble, I loved the fact that you were commenting on the outfits and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very into outfits.
Yes, and outfits on professional wrestlers, I mean, it should go without saying, kind of, the best ones have the most, similar to like Batman. They have a particular look that is associated with them and their character and what they do. And I love the bravado. I love the, in-your-faceness that it offers. But what we wanted to do here this week is watch a couple of entrances from a video that the WWE put out on their YouTube channel called 3 Hours of WrestleMania Entrances. Now, good news for you at home, we will not be commenting on the entire 3-hour video.
Thank God.
Yeah, even I agree with that. But what we are going to do is watch and comment on a couple of the entrances in question, and then give our thoughts. I will give a little refresher about the particular wrestler in question that we are commenting on, and then we will also comment on the entrance itself. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so the first one we have here is a gentleman by the name of Logan Paul. Got his fame initially by being a YouTube star.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, one of the first big people to really hit it big on YouTube. Now,
What did he do on YouTube that was made him a star?
it's a bunch of silly stuff. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of his myself, though I have appreciated the work that he's done in the WWE for the past couple of years, but mainly stupid stuff. And he even did some really controversial stuff, too, at one point. But he was just one of those early influencers, just making his life the YouTube show, if that. Now, like I said, he's been wrestling for the WWE for the past couple of years. His brother is actually a boxer who, I guess, as we record this, it has been announced that his brother is going to be facing off against Mike Tyson.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, but what did you think about that one?
What year was that?
This particular WrestleMania was last year, WrestleMania 39.
That's the one with Logan Paul.
Yep.
And so this is a long time ago that he was a YouTube star.
Correct. He may still have his YouTube channel now, but like he's already famous. It's not, at the point where he's building everything up, but he is a known name.
And did he do wrestling things?
I believe he made it clear he was a wrestling fan, and when him and his brother started getting involved in sports, he put it out there that he loved wrestling, and WWE contacted him. One thing led to another, and he's been wrestling.
Whoa.
Yeah. But did you like his entrance coming down from the rafters on a zip line?
It reminded me of Fart Man. Who was Howard Stern at the Video Music Awards, probably in 1990.
Nope, 1992 MTV Video Music Awards. Luke Perry introduced Howard Stern as Fart Man so they could co-present the Best Heavy Metal Video of the Year, which was won by Metallica for Enter Sandman, by the way.
Yes. But anyway, so Fart Man was so stupid, but went around the stage on wires like that. Mm-hmm. Exactly like that. And so all I could do was think about Howard Stern and Fart Man.
And how Howard just did his absolute best to turn around and show the world his butt cheeks.
Yes, as much as possible.
Yeah. I remember when that first came out, I was first introduced to Howard when he appeared on Late Night with David Letterman, and he threw Letterman. What do I mean by that? Normally Letterman as an interviewer is very much in control of the comedy that happens on that show, but Stern threw him for a loop, and Letterman lost it for just like a second, but Letterman, being the genius he is, came back on. But I didn't get the history of the Fart Man character. I mean, apparently Howard would, during the Iranian hostage crisis, I believe is when Fart Man debuted on the radio, when he would call the Iranian embassy and fart into the phone. And then say, "Release the hostages, I am Fart Man."
That's just so dumb.
It is what it is. I mean, but there's a reason the movie was never made. Howard was talked out of it, thankfully.
Yes, thankfully.
Yes. But that did lead to Howard Stern's movie Private Parts. Produced by Ivan Reitman.
Nice.
Yeah, you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching that. Fuck Howard Stern.
I really don't like Howard Stern.
I get that. The last time I actively listened to Howard Stern, I got into the car with my ex-wife, who was pregnant with our daughter at the time. My ex-wife, African-American, like I've mentioned. I wanted to listen to Howard on the way to the doctor's office. My wife was pregnant at the time, and going to see the Obgyn for a checkup and all that. There was this contest that they were running at the particular time called the World's Angriest Listener Contest. And when I got in the car, started up the car, turned on the radio, and it was someone that had entered the contest that was yelling the N-word over and over again about Howard's co-host, Robin Quivers. Uh-huh. I listened to that. I look at my ex-wife. I look back at the radio. I look back at my ex-wife, and then I shut it off.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. It was the right thing to do.
I mean, everybody's got their limits, right?
Yeah.
Mine are much more sensitive than yours.
Well, that also too was one of those things that got the ball rolling for me to understand that Howard's type of humor on a grand scale like that is just not healthy at all. And Howard Stern himself, to his credit, thanks to years of therapy, has actually come out and, said he regrets a lot of what he did in the past. So, in terms of growth as a human being, I definitely commend him for that. But
that doesn't help the people who had to live through the bullshit that was born of his attitude and behavior when it was happening.
No argument from me. And I think the big lesson is that I learned, like I said, is that the idea of just because I find it something funny, even if I don't agree with it, people can laugh at dark things. You still have to understand how the humor is being done. And Howard was punching down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, on to the next entrance.
Okay, let's take a look at the next entrance.
All right, this is kind of a funny one here. This is Dominic Mysterio.
Mysterio.
He is the son of Rey Mysterio. And the reason he's being let out here is that a few months prior, this is at WrestleMania 39, a few months prior during Thanksgiving, Dominic and Rhea Ripley, Dominic's mommy, went to Rey Mysterio's house at Thanksgiving and Dominic got into a scuffle with his father, Rey Mysterio, and his mother called the police on Dominic, and Dominic spent one night in jail. But that one night in jail led to him, proclaiming that he served hard time, and now he's coming to the ring with handcuffs on, being escorted by police that are probably local independent wrestlers, to be honest, and his father's mask.
Wow, yeah. And those guys have got to be wrestlers or something. They're huge, right? Like, they look very big compared to that guy, so they must be just ginormous.
The badges that they have on too look like they were purchased at like a 5 and dime store.
Yeah.
Just real plastic. Back in the day, they would have regular cops for scenes like this, but they wouldn't always fill the cops in on the fact that it's a show. Sometimes the cops would, rough people up unnecessarily, including the wrestlers.
Whoa.
But I thought that one was funny, though, because it kind of shows the character of Dominic. He's that bad guy that's just squirmy and weaselly, and you just really love to hate him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seemed like the audience did not like him.
Did not like him at all. But how about we watch his father's entrance from that particular year?
Okay. I think I saw Snoop Dogg when we kind of went back in time here. There we go, Snoop Dogg. Here we go, Snoop Dogg. And that must be his dad, Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, yeah. Yeah. The game is to be sold, not to be told. That's in Neon Lights in the Trunk that came out. But Ray's actually doing a cool thing here. The music that's playing now, as we watch this entrance with this lowrider car with Snoop Dogg driving Rey Mysterio to the ring, the music that's playing was actually the music that Eddie Guerrero used to go to the ring.
Oh.
So Eddie used to come to the ring for pay-per-views in lowrider cars like that. So it was a way to honor him. But now that Ray's getting onto the stage in his unique outfit, his regular theme song will start to play. But Lucha Libre legend, I actually had a chance to see him perform in the second best match of 2009 in Sacramento, California. It was Rey Mysterio versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was the Intercontinental Champion, and it was a championship versus mask match.
Whoa, I'm just really blown away by the pyrotechnic video and light display that's happening.
Yes, that is something to consider when it comes to WrestleMania entrances. Now that we have this major technology, you can have these huge, gigantic LED screens being able to showcase entrance moves, or when the matches are going, for instance, they will have the match itself playing on those screens so that the audience in the cheap seats will be able to see what's going on. But typically for WrestleMania, the entrances will also look much different and have a unique look. I mean, it's great for video video games, of course, because you have a set that you can build off of. But it gives a unique experience, and they also try and have the set have a theme that's like important to the area where it's being played.
Cool.
But Rey Mysterio, Lucha Libre legend.
Cool. Yeah, he had a really cool mask on.
Yep, and a really short guy too.
Really?
Yeah, like much. I believe like much shorter than you, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he looked very small on the giant stage.
In WCW, because he's been wrestling for that long, since the 90s, there was one point where they actually had him lose a mask match, and he had to take off the mask, and that made him look so much smaller.
Really?
Yeah, because he had a small baby face. He looked like he was maybe 19.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, that's his son has a baby face as well.
Now, granted, his son at this point is like 22, 23 or something like that. So quite young.
Yeah.
And that is kind of tough too for younger people that do get involved in wrestling, because like if you do look that young, you don't necessarily look that tough.
Right. But also it's like this weird thing that like people would pity you.
Maybe, but if you also have a punchable face, maybe they want to see you get beat up. You know?
That's true.
All right. Moving on to the next one here. Ah, yes. Rhea Ripley.
Ripley.
Mommy.
Now, I don't understand the mommy thing.
That was kind of tying in with the Dominic thing, because Dominic, when he was a kid, I told you, like his father wrestled Eddie Guerrero in a match in the mid-2000s. It was a custody match. The custody of Dominic was put on a piece of paper, and the person who ended up with custody had to climb a ladder to get the custody paper. But we got Rhea Ripley coming to the screen right now. She is a fucking badass.
Yeah, she's got weird trunks on, though. I'll say that much for her.
You would not rate this highly on your outfit scale?
No. I don't like her look. Like, I've seen her before. I've seen girls like her before. No, I've seen her before, and I don't like her look. It's
Too gothic.
It doesn't highlight her good features.
But the mommy thing, Eddie Guerrero used to have a t-shirt that says, "I'm your poppy." And because of the custody storyline, they kind of tied that in with Dominic's relationship with Rhea on the show. And now he calls her mommy.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so you were not a fan of the Rhea Ripley look. Interesting.
No, I don't like it. It's not cute enough to be goth. It's not goth.
Well, yeah, to me, like I said, I think she comes out like a badass. She comes out like a warrior, a fighter.
I just care about the outfits, honestly.
Okay, so yeah.
It's all about the outfit for me.
Like Ms. Blackstone.
Yes, like, if I could hear the music, it would be about the music and the outfits.
The music is key, but...
And the lights. Like, the whole spectacle is so spectacle-y.
Shall we go on?
Yes, please.
All right, we have an interesting mask appearing on the screen. We have people dancing, and this should be quite familiar. Asuka. You have a number of people dressed similar to Asuka with weird-looking face masks doing her gestures. And who is this here with the bluish mask with the green hair?
It's gotta be Asuka.
But look at that outfit.
Yeah, these outfits are good. These are good outfits.
I love her, especially when this is when she was a bad guy on the show, and how demented she looks, how dementedly happy. She reminds me of the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But perfect combination of hair, great face paint, great outfit.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of the ones we've seen so far, what would be the top of your list?
Snoop Dogg.
The Snoop Dogg and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just Snoop Dogg. Add Snoop Dogg to anything, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. Just add a little Snoop Dogg.
All right. Snoop Dogg reads the Bible. No.
Seriously, man, that would be so good.
Yeah. I mean, and hey, if Snoop Dogg can do a duet with Willie Nelson, you know.
Roll me up and smoke me when I go.
The next one here.
This is the one I've been waiting for.
Bianca Belair, the WrestleMania 39 entrance. She had a young dance troupe start off her entrance on stage, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this either this year or the year previous was. No, it was the year previous where she and Sasha Banks were the first two African-American women that main evented a WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But Bianca Belair is from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, she is from Knoxville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from. I love that these girls all have their hair up like Bianca's. And they are dancing around with the hair. And they're doing their amazing majorette dancing. Like, majorette dancers are some of the most cardiovascularly, as well as like strength and flexibility wise, like the best dancers I've ever seen.
And then you got a tiny little kid that, ouch, my back hurts just looking at that.
Contortion.
Yeah, but Miss Bianca Belair.
Here she comes. Here's Bianca.
Now, her outfits normally, from what I've seen her for major events like this, her outfits don't necessarily get more extravagant for the event. It's just the garnishment around it, like, you know, the kids, the dancing and all that stuff. She's a good guy. And the fact that she has those kids there dancing, everybody's going to be happy, right?
Right, yeah.
Is this the new number one on your list of best outfits?
No, I don't like this outfit.
Okay.
I don't like her outfit at all, and I do not like the dance troupe's outfits. I feel like they should have had better outfits. I feel like they should have given them really badass outfits, and instead they're just in like black tights and black t-shirts.
Yeah, they spent $12.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's WrestleMania. Like, they're spending like millions of dollars on all kinds of crap. Like, why couldn't they give those wonderful dancers better outfits?
Good question. I mean, we know some of the people that have run that place before are not the best human beings on the face of the earth, so, you know.
Seriously, like, I wonder if they even got paid to be on WrestleMania, or if they were supposed to take it as some kind of honor.
No,
the exposure.
No, they were paid.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that much I am sure of. As to how much, don't know. But yeah, to your point, being that they did ask them to come on there, unless there is a specific reason that the people that run the dance studio where the kids train and all that said, you know, these are the types of outfits that they can use. Yeah, I mean, the WWE should have put in a little extra cash for more snazzier outfits. It's about presentation, and yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, who's next?
Well, first of all, we have a rapper, Lil Uzi.
Lil Uzi?
I don't know who this is.
And what does Vert say? Vert. Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, I mean, last time I actively paid attention to hip-hop, folks, Eminem was just debuting. So, a lot of this stuff is going to go way over my head.
I didn't know it was still cool to wear your pants way down like that.
Yeah.
I thought surely that was a trend that was over now. Maybe it's come back. Maybe it's retro.
Well, I think the one trend that needs to go away is that guy's hair.
I mean, how do they keep their pants up when that's how they're wearing them? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how do those pants stay up?
I don't know. I didn't tell them to do it, so I'm sorry. I'm kidding. But yes, this is I know for a fact he is a rapper. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this might be the guy that Fonnie Willis in Georgia is suing under a RICO charge. She is suing a rapper.
Oh.
Fonnie Willis, the DA, of course, who has RICO charges against Mango Mussolini.
Oh. No, so I just noticed this guy's hair. He's got his hair spiked up like two little cat. He looks like... a
dumbass.
He looks like a cartoon character.
It's not a good look, but...
and I still don't understand how his pants are staying up.
Yeah. Well, he is introducing a tag team known as the Usos. Now, they have since broken up after this. They were part of a faction called the Bloodline, with Roman Reigns as the head of that. These guys are second-generation wrestlers. Their father was Rikishi Fatu, and most famous for the time that he was involved in this group called Too Cool. And his big move is that he would get his opponent sitting in the corner in the ringside, and then he would put his butt in their face and wiggle it around.
Whoa.
They would call it the stink face.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's their father.
Yeah, they seem... Okay, so they have 2 championships belts each.
Yeah, they had the unified tag team championships because Raw and SmackDown had their own, but they won them both. I guess the reason they didn't make one belt is that the hope was that they would split them up again at some point.
I see.
I forgot the storyline. Like, the WWE doesn't care much about tag teams anyway, so I don't really pay attention to their tag team scene anymore. But, yeah, like, this entrance that we just saw here just didn't work for me, but I think the reason why it didn't work for me was I had no connection whatsoever to the musician. If I knew who that rapper was and I liked his work, maybe I'd be more psyched for it. And, you know, also when it comes to their outfits, I'm sure you would say they were rather pedestrian.
Oh, yes. Rather.
Not to your high
my
expectations.
expectations. No, not at all.
All right. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, please.
All right. We have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Uh-oh.
From last year's WrestleMania when he faced off against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
That sounds exciting.
Yes. And they ended up making people sad. He ended up losing this match thanks to interference from the Bloodline, which is now making people excited because they're going to be doing a rematch this year.
Okay, now we have to talk about this outfit. He has wings. Okay, he looks like a British soldier from 1776, but then he has feathery wings and a white codpiece.
If the American flag could ejaculate and make a jacket, it would be that.
Yes, it's got giant gold epaulets with rhinestone fringe. And I kid you not, feathery wings and a tail of some sort. It's quite bizarre.
Kind of like his neck tattoo. A weird choice for a weird location for a tattoo, I should say. The tattoo itself, I wouldn't necessarily get it, but the design is not necessarily bad. But why on the neck?
Yeah, neck tattoo, I don't get it.
But it is great to see him back. This was his second WrestleMania after coming back to the WWE. In 2016, he actually asked for his release from the WWE. He felt that the company only saw him as a mid-level guy at best. He could have stayed with that company and made a lot of money, but he decided to go out on his own and try different things. And he ended up developing this American Nightmare character, ended up becoming friends with people that ended up helping to create All Elite Wrestling, but then one thing led to another, and he came back to the WWE.
Uh-huh.
But that outfit...
And then he gets like a really expensive outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, let's contrast this outfit with those outfits those girls were wearing. So unfair, because look at what he's doing. Is he contorting himself? No. Is he bucking? No. Is he jumping up and down and kicking his leg up to his head? No. He's not doing any of that.
Yeah, but now he's hugging his kid. Aw.
And he's obviously a bleach blonde.
Yeah. Normally, similar to his father. His father dyed his hair blonde as well. And it was a common thing in wrestling too. Like Gorgeous George, I think, was one of the first people to intentionally dye his hair blonde so he could have people come out and have like the atomizers and spray perfume all over him before the start of a match. Mm-hmm. You know? But yeah. Shall we watch one more?
Yeah, one more. Let's do it.
One more. This is Cody Rhodes' opponent. at WrestleMania 39, and who will be his opponent at WrestleMania 40 this year?
Who?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, right.
And now the camera goes down. And
There are like 6 grand pianos.
they spent more on the piano. Yeah, the outfit budget for the girls was blown on these pianos.
Yeah, I mean, they spent so much money on everything except the outfits for those girls. It disgusts me that they would have young African-American women performers and treat them so differently.
Well, I mean, we can look into the source of it, but we don't know everything that led up to those girls going up on stage.
What, you're like, they could be Jehovah's Witnesses or something and they have to wear...
No, I mean, like I said before, there could be a specific reason why they had to wear those types of outfits. Or maybe they were happy with it. Who knows? I mean, I agree.
They were not happy with those outfits.
Okay.
They were not. You could tell. They needed fabulous outfits with lots of fringe and sequins.
Oh, right. The piano playing is done.
What were they playing? Do you remember?
A piano version of Roman Reigns' theme song.
Oh. And what is this tree-like object?
It is the bloodline.
Oh.
Because, for point of reference, for the folks out there that are not professional wrestling fans, Roman Reigns, the current WWE Universal Champion, comes from a long lineage of professional wrestlers. His father was Sika, part of the Wild Samoans tag team that was managed by Captain Lou Albano. His cousin is The Rock.
Oh. The Rock is related to a number of people that are involved in this wrestling stuff.
Indeed. But very simple outfit here, but it fits his character well. And then behind him, of course, you have two, if you're looking at the screen on his right, Paul Heyman, who was recently announced to be the first inductee in this year's WWE Hall of Fame class.
Whoa.
Legendary manager. Like, he's been managing since I was a kid.
Nice. So Roman Reigns has got some pyrotechnics going. He's got the piano players playing, and he is just holding his belt up. And then he's got this other little dude next to him. Who's that dude?
Solo Sikoa, brother of the Usos. His father's Rikishi as well, but he's part of the Bloodline faction. A rather newish character at this particular time.
Well, he has a ridiculous codpiece on as well. Like, what is up with all the ridiculous codpieces?
I don't know if I have the courage to go up and ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have a family member by the name of Haku, who, when a fan got on the wrong side of Haku bit this guy's nose off.
Whoa. Okay, never mind.
So, if he asked me what I thought of his codpiece, it'd be like, great. Thumbs up, sir. I love it. But that was a very small sample, small taste.
That was only 17 minutes of a 3-hour extravaganza.
Yeah. You have to be a very special professional wrestling fan to watch this whole thing, but we will have the link of it in the show description so you can kind of get an idea here, because it's part of the spectacle. It's part of what...
It's so spectacle-y.
It's what makes WrestleMania so fun when everything is firing on all cylinders. You know, when you have that emotional connection with the wrestlers as well, it makes it even more better. But I think the most important thing we want to know, who gets your award for the best outfit of the night?
Wow, this is hard. Of all the people we saw, the best outfit, I'm going to have to go with Asuka. Yes, Asuka.
All right, not Rey Mysterio. Snoop Dogg loses out.
Well, just on outfits. I mean, Snoop Dogg doesn't have anything to do with outfits. I can judge an outfit.
Well, there you go.
Without Snoop Dogg.
You're right.
I don't need Snoop Dogg's telling me what to do.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Asuka is
best dressed.
The best dress has the Professor Aubrey Award.
That's right.
For best
dressed
wrestler in history.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Wrestlemania?
Absolutely not.
Well, okay then. Thank you very much for having the patience to sit with me through this endeavor here.
Yes, of course.
All right. Each Monday, we'll have something in this podcast space to entertain your ear holes. Until we meet again, we bid you adieu.
Farewell.
And what you gonna do, brother? Subscribe to Friends Talking Nerdy
On YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Goodbye, darling.